So you're in the process of buying a house, you're pre-approved, you're out shopping for the home, and the mortgage guidelines change. Does that mean your pre-approval is good because it was already issued, or is it bad because the rules have changed? Listen up, and I'll give you some information that'll help you navigate these waters. Hey everybody, John King with Summit Funding, and I'm coming to you today with some wisdom about how mortgage guidelines change and what it means to your pre-approval and your process as you're moving forward in buying or refinancing a home. So the bad news is that the mortgage industry guidelines change fairly regularly. Usually those guidelines are small little changes that don't impact us, and often we're given a fair amount of notice before those rules are put into place. And finally, we often will grandfather an application based upon when it was started and what rules were in place when that application was started. The challenge is the definition of an application is once you have a contract accepted and we have signed your official loan documents. And so there's a lot of nuances here, and the key that I'm going to tell you is most rules we can get grandfathered. Some rules we cannot grandfather, and that there's a hard date when that rule comes into play. And there are a few times when the rules are changed with no warning whatsoever. And that actually happened recently with FHA, and they rolled out a new rule regarding down payment assistance programs that was effective the day it was rolled out. They gave zero notice about it. That program essentially provided such or required such a high level of documentation for these down payment assistance programs that it essentially shut down all down payment assistance programs until they could get all of the documentation put together. Well, that meant that anybody who had not yet been in contract and pulled a case number for FHA, that case number is pulled by the lender, they were subject to the new rules, and the new rules essentially said we couldn't do down payment assistance until the down payment assistance provider met this higher burden of documentation. Well, that's a situation that I personally had two buyers that were caught in that problem. And there wasn't a whole lot that I could do other than reassure them that I think the problem's going to work itself out within a week or so, because this is a pretty major change that impacts a lot of people, and I think it was a knee-jerk reaction. Lo and behold, within 3 or 4 days, there was a lawsuit brought to bear that put a 90-day stay on that rule so that the down payment assistance programs would have time to implement that higher burden of proof and still continue their operations. And so even when things seem like they're really, really dark and that the rules have changed, there's often a way to navigate or switch loan programs, or sometimes just kind of sit back and hope that things work themselves out. Hope is not a strategy, but in this case, it was the only option we had, and it worked out really, really well. So if you have questions about guideline changes and how they might impact your ability to qualify or anything else, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm looking forward to being a great resource for you, and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye-bye.